He's maybe having connection issues. But we can give it another couple of minutes, and if not, we get started. Sadly, the YouTube will have a little bit of a delay at the start, but a little bit cut off at the start. Sorry. But how is everyone doing? We can have a chat, guys. So Kari and Shahid and Benji, we can have a chat just about how you guys are doing, maybe, so that we're not just all sitting on here talking about nothing.
I'm doing fantastic. I love Mondays.
Did everyone? Did anyone get a chance to watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch it? Did you watch it, Shahid? I know Kari told me earlier she watched her first ever Super Bowl. Well, it was your first time you've ever watched a whole Super Bowl, Kari, right?
No, it wasn't my first one. I just haven't watched them in about almost 6 years. It's the first time I've watched in a while. I used to watch all the time.
Okay.
And do parties and the whole big.
It's crazy that it would be your first ever one.
Yeah, definitely not my first. I think I just got tired of them and wasn't interested in a lot of the teams for many years.
Yeah.
Were there any hiccups at halftime with any ads or anything spontaneous like the Oreo moment? Normally you'd hear about it immediately the moment it occurred.
The one thing that's crypto related was there was a really cool Coinbase ad. Coinbase. Do you know that like old system? You know when with the old DVD players when the logo like bounces off the sides of the page and like constantly moving around saying DVD and changing color.
Yeah,
they did that with a QR code. There was nothing on the screen, just a QR code bouncing off the side of the screen. Right. And their entire website shut down. They crashed their website because they had too much traffic. Because everyone was scanning the QR code. I think it was $1 million giveaway.
I was here all the time.
Right, Kari? Do you know what they were doing with the ad? It was something like that.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
It felt like the crypto bowl. There were so many crypto ads. I caught on to a live stream of Fox. Was it Fox? I don't remember. Anyway, I can't watch the stream. So everything was crypto. FTX, Coinbase. I mean, I think Gemini. It felt like a crypto bowl.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was here all along, so the stream's already on. I don't know why, but I was requesting to come on stage many times, but I don't know why. But the stream's on. Stream's up and running. We can start. Go ahead with the AMA.
Forgive us for our shortcomings, oh Lord of all dogs.
No worries. You're forgiven.
All right, let's do it. Let's kick into the AMA.
Should we kick off with development? Benji, do you want to start on dev side of things?
Yeah, sure.
Good man.
Is my sound okay?
Yeah. Sound good.
Okay, cool. So this week, the alpha won't be running. I mean, this weekend there was no tests. We are just testing and improving the networking code. So I know it's kind of a bummer for a lot of testers, but once it's done, we'll open the alpha again, and it should be running. It helps us testing all the stability of it. Our goal is to have a game that is already fully scalable and running in its final form when it's launched. So there might be a lot of a few times during the development where it's like that, but I think it's part of doing an alpha, so it's perfectly normal. We're also doing like a lot of automated testing these days, and some of the tools we've created for that will also be useful later on for the QAs before every time we release a new version of the game. We'll be able to use all these tools we're creating now for testing the game. So internally, every time before we release a new version to the public. Also, so the networking is like just one aspect of the game, but besides that, there is still a lot of progress going on. There are newer areas that are being created. There are like some that are being designed. Many improvements on the current maps also are in progress. We're still like progressing fast on the weapon creation. We've also almost fully designed the onboarding process for the new players. So it will be much easier to understand the game when you are coming. You will have some explanation, etc., for how to use the game, but it will also be skippable for the main parts for players that are more experienced or that are used to play MMORPGs. We're also recruiting a lot of people right now. We are about to recruit a new 3D designer, and we'd like to. One of our priorities is also to hire a human resources person to help the team expand faster. So that's it. So for this week, there might not be like a lot to show. I mean, there might not be anything to test, but there will be a lot coming soon, and the game development is still going fast. So don't worry too much about that. It's just some networking stuff, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's great. Hey Benji, could you tell us a little bit about Bearish?
Sorry, Bearish. I cannot hear Doglord.
He said, can you tell us a little bit about Bearish?
Okay, I can read the subtitles.
Ben, I think you're having the same problem as me last week. Okay.
That's bad.
He said, can you tell us a little bit about Bearish? At least it's not me this week.
Yeah, I think we're losing him.
Yeah, it shows that Benji's connecting, so there we go.
Oh, maybe it was a Benji issue rather than a Doglord issue. He could read the text. Let me bring Benji back in. Benji, are you back in? Still connecting, I think.
Not hear. When I'm a speaker, I cannot hear anyone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
But I cannot hear.
Well,
okay.
Do you want to tell us a bit, Benji, do you want to tell us a bit about Bearish? That was Doglord's question.
Oh, yeah, Bearish. There is lots of cool thing you will see for Bearish. Right now, we want to make it a very dangerous and interesting place. So it will be more difficult to walk around in Bearish than it will be in other places in the game. So there will be
some
more
rug pulls going on.
Yeah, maybe some rug pulls around and some more like enemies and etc. In the places. So yeah, we want to make it like challenging and interesting, and like the lava that you've seen in the screenshots you cannot walk on it. It will
you may know the section that I'm going to mention, Benji. Sorry to cut in. There's a section with all the bears. You know the part that I mean? All the bears on the wall.
Yeah.
It would be kind of funny if they were to push you off, because I know that area is quite difficult to walk through, right? Already, it's like a thin, narrow path over the lava.
If
I remember correctly. It would be funny if the bears were to push you down all the time. So this is randomly they would just push you down onto the lava.
That's a very good idea, actually. Yeah, now to think about
that's what the bears do, right? The bears are every now and then they just decide to come out and push the market down. So it would be good if they pushed you down.
I mean, it's red lava. Why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. It would be even better if they did it with like a nice screaming noise, like they screamed at you as they did it, or roared at you like a bear.
Yeah.
Or if the Bezoge reacted with a scream, a really funny scream, like a comedy scream, when the bear is pushing down or something, it would be funny.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make the
I'll
screaming noise on the call, but it was just an idea.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think, yeah, that could be cool. That could be actually a fun mechanics to make it quite challenging. Like this area is like a kind of a dungeon, and it's actually very big, but it should be quite difficult to get to everywhere within the place. So all this kind of little challenges on the way could be cool.
Yeah, there should definitely be a lot more challenges to make it a really difficult place to move around. It's a really cool place. That what I've seen of it so far. I've not actually sat and played it myself, but what I've seen of you playing and other people in the office playing is it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So the reason why I bought Bearish up was because we had first gameplay of within Bearish that was coming out, which I've shared in the space as well.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Even I've not seen this. Even I've not seen this video yet, and I'm logged into the account that it's on.
I scheduled it right before coming onto this AMA for 12:15, and that's why I wanted to carry on this conversation until this point.
All right, I see it. There's a leak. It's a 19-second video. This.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Even I'm looking at it right now. That's why everyone. I think everyone that's in.
I think everyone's gone quiet for this.
The video.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm watching the video as well.
Can we pause the AMA for like 20 seconds? Okay, let me just watch this. No, but moving on. People who can always watch it later, right? Cool.
Yeah, we can continue, but everyone can have a quick look at that. It's at the top of the AMA. You can see it right there. Okay. Was there anything else to mention from your side, Benji?
Sorry, I was watching the video. Yeah, no, that's I think on my side it's pretty much that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. So should we move on? Is it you next, Carrie, or you want to go, Shahid? Is it you? I think it's you, Shahid, right? You usually come after Benji.
Yeah, I'm happy to give an update next. Quite a lot to update on actually for this week. So yeah, we'll cover technical CMS platform first. It's being worked on throughout the whole of last week, through the weekend. We've got 33 pages in now. I was just QAing a lot of the content before the call. We're effectively in activation week this week. So we will be switching on at some point. I won't say what day, but yeah, we'll start updating elements of the current site in preparation for launch of the full site. I think a working week starts on Monday, right? Ends on Sunday. So yeah, this week we will be activating. So yeah, a lot moving forward on the site. All hands on deck. Jeff's also helping me with the tech process and some of the QA. We're also working throughout the night after the AMA call on the site as well. So nothing stops. The goal is to go live this week. And yeah, we will be switching on by Hook or Crook.
Yeah, and switching on the new site is a whole process rather than just, it's an ongoing process rather than just, hey, this is the updated site. And absolutely, we will be constantly on a weekly basis, maybe even a daily basis, adding content to the website on the new CMS that we have. And it'll be an evolving website. It'll be changing on a daily basis. So that's the good thing about this, the new site, is that it's not just going to be a static page. It's going to be very dynamic, new content on it all the time, with the news, with updates, with social updates, everything on there. Everything will be constantly changing on a daily basis, basically. So It'll be growing.
I was just completing today the full URL structure, completely optimized. URL by URL. So making sure all elements are populated with content. There'll be a lot of refresh content we need to add, but things are moving absolutely in the right direction. And like I say, the goal will be to switch on this week. So very happy on the website development. Also on the marketing channel side of things, moving on, Microsoft ads will be activated this week also. So Bing ads will be switched on. That will be US, UK, Philippines, and rest of world. Facebook has also been verified and compliance is now completed, which basically means our domain and business verification is in place. So we'll start activating social media ads over the course of the next few weeks. In terms of content production, so we had a roadmap meeting last week and we managed to complete our first real updated view of the roadmap for 2022, broken down by quarter. Obviously, a lot of this updated roadmap will also go into the launch of the new site on the roadmap content landing page. We're also preparing for an alpha sign-up campaign push. So this is all part of the alpha testing process. We mentioned in Discord as part of some of the alpha switch off over this weekend in order to allow us to do some updates. There were some communications out in Telegram and in Discord. So whenever possible, if you are part of the alpha, please join Discord. It's absolutely essential you're part of Discord. Otherwise, it's very difficult to actually to play the alpha in the first place, and also stay up to date with all of the latest updates as and when alpha is online. So there were a few communication updates for alpha being paused over the weekend. Also, there'll be future communication updates for testing scenarios in alpha. So as Benji mentioned, alpha is all about testing. We want to catch as many issues before the full launch of the game. So moving forward, we will be providing some different testing scenarios where, we'd like a lot of the alpha players coming on board to really test out different scenarios in game. Maybe it's testing long range weapons or switching between weapons. So as part of the alpha push, there will be a pretty significant campaign on increasing players. And then also as part of that, we've improved the approval process behind the scenes. So we'll be approving players on a daily basis. So the backlog should be almost clear and there should be no backlog in the future. So this should all help really accelerate a lot of the game development.
One thing to mention that a lot of people have been coming on to play the game rather than to test the game, and I think it's not been made very clear that this is still an alpha test, and there's a lot of things that we are doing behind the scenes while people are testing, like stress testing the servers, we're testing new configurations. Where this is a test, it's not, people are not just coming on to play the game, right? So be aware that while we're testing, things will be being tested on the server in the background. We'll be doing different loads, we'll be doing different server configurations, and quite often the server will be down, right? So this is because we're currently in the process of optimizing, and we like Shahid said, we will be adding a lot more tasks and things that people have to do during the tests and specific functions that we want the testers to test, rather than it just being come on and play for a while. We're going to be a bit more structured with the way that we actually run these alpha test sessions.
Hi everyone, you can.
Sorry, Shahid, you continue.
No worries, you can still hear me, okay? I just got kicked for a moment there.
You did.
Okay. All right, okay.
You're back.
All right, cool. So yeah, there'll be a big push on alpha sign up and players. So that's upcoming. Also on the content calendar, we've got up to 15 different updates in the coming weeks on a weekly basis. Content calendar has now been finalized. We're getting all of the production assets ready. You might have also seen a few updates over the last week over our YouTube channel. So a lot of the AMA thumbnails have been updated. We've updated a few playlists. We also included Swifty and Rabbit and in our influencer section. So if you're not a subscriber on the channels, I'd encourage you to subscribe, and lots of more updates to come in general. I think on the marketing stats side of things, maybe a few insights I'd like to share. Mobile's a huge part for player acquisition and first discovery of the brand. Current statistics, we're seeing a 75% split between mobile and desktop traffic. So mobile is hugely important for the new site, and we're still seeing a 5% plus click-through rate on our brand ads. So really good performance overall on our ads running on Google. But yeah, overall, that would probably be the marketing updates for the week or for today.
Okay. One couple of things to add on the. Did you have something to say first, Douglas?
I wanted to ask Shahid. Shahid, what could you tell us about Meta Week?
I can tell you we've confirmed attendance at Meta Week. We'll have a booth. We'll have quite a lot of the team there. Yeah, we're sponsoring up on quite a premium level. Yeah, really looking forward to March. So March is going to be a super conference busy month. Yeah, obviously the goal is to get as much branded exposure there, discuss with partners, potential corporations on the traffic acquisition side of things. Yeah, very excited about Meta Week.
When and where is this happening?
In Dubai. First week, 7th of March, but we'll also have that included in our events section on the site. So we'll include a link in Twitter. I'll share it with you after the AMA.
Oh, perfect. I just wanted to make sure that was laid out there.
Yeah, super.
Yeah, one update I want to also give regarding the development. There's been quite a bit of progress on the creation of the wallets for the users, the design of the user onboarding experience, and how the entire game will interact with blockchain. That there's a lot of updates on that. I won't say exactly what it is, but there's been a lot of progress on that internally. Me and Benji have another meeting tomorrow to go through a lot of the entire process and map it all out. But the development on that has been really good so far from all of the team. So I'm quite excited to start implementing that. Some of the things that we are implementing are going to be sort of first of its kind in the blockchain industry. So I think it's going to be really interesting to develop. Sorry, I just wanted to add that in.
No, perfect. So I think that was it for marketing, Jeff. Nothing else to add.
I think we can move on to Carrie.
All right. So what's up, everyone? I want to thank the entire community for supporting the StockTwits page. These last couple of weeks, I've seen a lot of great improvement over there. And I can say we've gained some new holders just from chilling and pushing that account. And StockTwits is in the process of showing our chart and keeping the price update. It's not 100% accurate, but they're trying. So as long as we continue having the activity over there, I think they'll see that, okay, the community wants this, so we'll keep doing that. But this week I want to focus on YouTube, especially since we have some updates, like Shahid was saying, with our own YouTube page. And so to go along with that, we have some amazing community members that have been doing videos and creating content. Just absolutely love the community engagement. So we can help push their videos and get that trending by liking, subscribing to their channels, commenting, and and watching the videos. So on our own account, as well as people like Sir Swifty, and there's a handful of community members creating great content. If we can just make sure we comment as well as liking and subscribing, it'll help generate the views. It'll rank them higher in the trending aspects or when people are searching. So YouTube is something I want to focus on this week. And to the YouTubers out there, or anybody creating videos, make sure you share it in our Facebook community page, Telegram, Discord, wherever. Share it, and we'll push it to everyone else across all platforms. So we'll help. We got to help each other. It's important.
I would definitely just add there, Carrie. Like we'll look to update our time codes in YouTube, and also add some languages and narrations so that you've got subtitling on some of the content in future. So there'll be lots of further optimization to happen on the YouTube channel. But as mentioned, everything that you do in terms of sharing, engagement, all of this helps.
Yes, absolutely. And you already touched on a couple of things I was going to bring up. I wanted to mention again to the alpha testers or anyone that has applied to become an alpha tester, make sure you've joined Discord as well. It's crucial to, as part of the alpha testers section, that we have a channel within Discord where all of the alpha testers communicate and stay up to date on what is requested. So
and to reiterate on that, not just that it's actually essential, it's actually a requirement in order to be an alpha tester. If you've filled in the form on the website, on the Google Doc, and you're not in our Discord, we aren't able to add you to the alpha testing. So it's a requirement to become an alpha tester that you are first in the Bezoge page, the Bezoge channel. Sorry, you need to be a member of the Bezoge Discord channel. Once you're in there, then you can apply to be an alpha tester. It says this on the form, but I know a lot of people have missed it because we get a lot of people applying that are not in the Discord channel. They're not a member of the Bezoge Discord channel. So please, if you have filled out the form and you're not a member of the Bezoge Discord channel and you've not been approved to be an alpha tester yet, please fill out the form again and make sure you're a member of the Discord channel first, and then include your Discord handle in the application. There's part of the application that says that, but I think a lot of people have missed it because they just fill in their information without reading the small print there. But yeah, please make sure you're a member of the Discord channel before making an application.
Yes. Okay, and some updates for me. So some things I've been working on with the community and doing what I can to promote us. I've got a meeting with a metaverse group on Facebook this Wednesday. So it's at 4 p.m. my time. It's at a weird time, but it will be recorded because I know many people won't be able to join because of that time frame, but it will be recorded. This is a community that is just going to be asking questions about our project. I get to introduce them to what we're doing and what we're all about. So I'm excited about that. And then on Thursday through Monday, I'll be in Denver for the big East Denver event. And I just realized this morning, excuse me, I realized I might not be able to make next week's AMA because I'll be at the airport at that time. But if I can, I will pop in and give some quick updates. But also, I'll be taking lots of pictures, doing some video, quick updates throughout the weekend while I'm in Denver to keep everyone updated as to what is going on and what's happening and what I'm doing.
Awesome, Carrie. Thanks for the update. Do we have questions from the community on your side?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've just got a few. I was going through even Facebook and Instagram and some other places looking for questions, but I've only got 3 that I've written down so far. First question, is beta still planned for Q1?
If we can complete it in Q1, yeah, we should be able to get something ready. We won't confirm a date, but it will certainly be end of Q1 or the beginning of Q2.
Okay, great. I know there's no rush on my end because I know what you guys are developing, and it's exciting seeing all these leaks. All right, next question. Do we have an update on the Certic audit for staking?
We don't. I actually am going to have another follow-up with the main dev that is working on that tomorrow, so I don't have an update that I can give directly right now. But the last update I got from him is that the staking contract is pretty much finished, and he's doing internal testing himself. And he actually wants to do, but we need to do quite a lot of testing. It's not something that we can just launch right away. We want to make sure it's secure. So we're still testing ourselves internally. The next step will be then to reach out and get either a Certic audit or an audit by someone else, ideally Certic. I know there's a long waiting list for Certic though. But we'll, as soon as there's an update on staking, we'll announce it to the community. Within the next, before beta comes out, we'll be able to get the staking ready for sure.
Perfect. Okay. I've got another question, and then I do need to make one statement before we open it up to the community. So last question, are you still planning an in-game scavenger hunt for a seed phrase to a prize wallet? I know we discussed that way back. It's been a while. There was some mention of that being a possibility.
Yeah, we discussed that we might put a purebred or a legendary weapon or something and hide the seed phrase around the map. That is, yeah, certainly something that I think that what makes sense is we'll have to complete all of the worlds first so that we get it to a point that we're able to do that. Because we would need to design every world so that we can start, hiding the words from the seed phrase in there. But yeah, we'll certainly either do it via. There's a couple of ways we can do it. We can actually do that, really hide a seed phrase within the game, and people can literally find it, see it, write it down, and then continue playing and try and find the next word. Or what we can do is we can also create a similar sort of mechanism with quests. So we can have quests that people have to hunt around the map and make it more of an ongoing thing. So there could be like a legendary weapon of the season, for example, and you have to find all of these points of interest within the map, and then you'll actually be awarded it directly, and so multiple people could get the prize. I think that would be more fun, right? I think that would be a more long-term thing because we could change it on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis based on the season of the game. And make it a new experience for everyone, and everyone has the chance to earn the latest weapon.
Yes, that sounds awesome. I know I'm excited for the quest. Okay, so one more quick statement too. I just want to remind everyone that Mike James and I host Twitter Spaces every day at varying times of the day. It may be afternoon for the States or late at evening. Dog Lord likes to join us too. They're usually casual conversations about Bezoge, of course, but we also allow people from other communities to come in and talk, and it's just great. We've had some great interactions with people on there, so I encourage everyone to join us. And Mike James has posted that he was going to do a random giveaway, $1,000 giveaway of his own money, just randomly on one of these Twitter Spaces. So when that day comes, when he decides to do it, we'll record the space, and that way he has verification of everyone that's in attendance, just making sure it's completely fair and randomized. But yeah, so guys, pay attention, make sure you're following Mike James. Usually if I start a Twitter space, it has to be under my Bezoge Groupies account. But yeah, just look for us. Keep an eye out on those spaces, and it's worth it to tune in and hang out with us. And we answer questions. We talk to new people. Just random people come in all the time, and we'll ask questions. So just wanted to put that out there and let everyone know.
I feel like I should join in one of those. I've never joined in one of those, Carrie.
That's like my favorite part of the day. Every morning for me, it's morning time. It's evening in the States, and it's fun. and if Mike, you're listening to this, and if you select me as a winner for that giveaway, I'm a very generous person. Just saying.
Okay, since we're doing that now, okay. Hey, Mike, if you're listening.
Zach is even more generous.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is, on top of the giveaway from Mike is incredible. By the way, I see Mike requesting. I'll add him as a speaker so that he can, seeing as it's his giveaway. But our own giveaway, I think this is the last 8 hours right now. It ends at 11:59 p.m. UTC, which is in, I think, 7 hours and 19 minutes. So if anyone has not entered that prize yet, maybe Paolo or Carrie, you could maybe quickly explain what they need to do to enter. Just for anyone that's on here that's not entered the prize yet, we're giving away 1 trillion Bezoge, which is currently about $4,300.
Wow. Once again, I'm a very generous person.
It's a lot of money for that 1 trillion giveaway, but you need to make sure you follow the main Bezoge Twitter account, the Legends of Bezogia Twitter account. Follow both of those accounts, like and retweet the giveaway post, and tag someone in that post. We've got some people that have tagged probably about 3,000 people, but it only takes one. But you need to make sure you complete all those steps, liking and following, tag, retweet.
And also subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Oh, yes, I forgot that. Thank you, Paulo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. And that is the Lunar New Year giveaway, just in case anyone is wondering which one that is. It's pinned to the top of the account that I'm on right now, the Legends of Bezogia account. And the handle for that account is actually Legend of Bezogia, just in case. A lot of people might think that's a fake one, but it's actually the genuine one is Legend of Bezogia. And in case anyone is wondering why we didn't put the S or if we made a typo ourselves, it's the limit for the length of the username. We're already at the limit, so we didn't have enough characters to add an S.
I just shared the tweet of the giveaway on this space as well. That's on the top for reference.
Oh, there you go. I need to learn how to do that.
I'll show you later.
Yeah, don't attempt, because maybe our AMA will end.
Yeah, I tend to do things like that. Hey, Mike, did you want to mention something about your giveaway? I see I made you a speaker.
I just want to hop on and say hello to everybody. Yeah, and if Doglor wins the giveaway, we're gonna have to do a redraw. But
I'm still gonna join. I enjoy the space. I'm still gonna join.
Oh, that's funny. I just wanted to hop on and just say hi, and a couple of questions from random people that joined the Twitter Spaces that we've been holding. The question number one was, "What's the team pay? How are you guys getting paid from doing all this?" And the second question was, with all the worlds that you guys are creating, now there are other projects kind of copying Bezoge and doing the play to earn versus pay to earn, right? So you start with free, you don't pay anything, and you earn money. And Axie's thinking about kind of changing their tokenomics for that as well. What some people were asking, are you guys planning on launching whatever you have ready at a time, or just everything at once?
Okay, let me yeah, so we worked on I'll quickly answer your first question first. So the first question about how are we getting paid, you mean the founders? How are the founders getting paid?
Yeah, the founders and everybody that
we're
works.
not. No, we're not. Yeah, we don't get paid. We own Bezoge that we have from the dev wallet, and that's it. But we're not getting paid. We don't get any salary at the moment, and we don't plan on taking any salary for the near future. But but yeah, we don't get paid basically. The team members like Kari and Shahid and everyone that works for us, of course, everyone gets paid, but the founders ourselves, we don't get paid any salaries. And basically the project is funded by us. So before the price of the token went up significantly, we actually and before we'd done any NFT sales, we funded. I think a lot of people that were here in the beginning will remember that we donated $150,000 to the donation wallet. Me, Zach, and Doglord between us, 50,000 each. And so yeah, we self-funded the project to get it to the point that it was at, until we did the NFT sale, until the price of the tokens increased. So that's how we don't get paid basically, and when in fact we put money into the project rather than taking it out. So hopefully that answers that question. With regards to the whole free to play, how the mechanics are going to work, how we plan to do that. What was the specific question, Mike? Because I think what I can say is we plan to be free to play, completely free to play in the beginning, no barrier to entry whatsoever. Can you quickly say the question again?
Yeah, so basically the question was, when something new and innovative being presented to the market, basically whoever comes up with it, goes live with it first, will kind of get the spot, you know what I'm saying, to be like on the spot, and everybody will talk about it and mention it. So people are wondering if you guys going to wait for all the worlds to be developed and then launch the game, or are you guys going to launch the game with whatever you have ready and then add on the new worlds, so that way to per se like beat the wave of all these free to play games, you know what I mean? Since you guys been working on it since middle last year, they don't want somebody else to like just hop on and kind of take the spotlight.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of what they were saying.
So we definitely will launch the game without all the worlds. So some of the worlds, last week we actually sat down and put together a full. Shahid mentioned it. We put together a full timeline and roadmap of what's going to be launched and the dates that it'll be launched. So we have sort of expected dates that each world will be launched during the alpha, beta, and then the main launch phase. A lot of the worlds will be launched during the main launch of the game, rather than during beta or in alpha. We actually think it can have a much bigger impact if we begin to drop some of the worlds in beta to hype up the main launch of the game. So specifically with some worlds coming towards the end of that. I won't give any specific information, but basically they'll be spread out through beta and the main launch of the game. So it's not like we're going to wait until we finished every single world before we launch the game. But with regards to a lot of people, it's about the first mover in the space, which you were talking about, Mike. I think that's true to a certain extent.
I would disagree.
No, I was going to continue that. But I think it's true to a certain extent, but then you can also look, if that were the case, then we'd all still be using MySpace or Friendster, right? Like Friendster came out, they had they were the number one, and then they had some issues, and then the world then moved on to MySpace, and MySpace was number one, dominating. Everyone was using MySpace, and then Facebook came out, and Facebook then became the dominant one that did it right. And even now they're beginning to do it wrong, and there's more social medias coming out. People are beginning to move across, and Facebook is now decreasing in users, right? So I don't think it's ever too late, and I don't think you ever need to be first. I think you need to be the first to provide a really good solution. And up until now, Facebook has provided the best solution, right? So in that case, I think if we're the same, like actually we're the first there that went really mainstream, but they didn't make a very exciting game. And so there's definitely opportunity for someone to come in with a much more enjoyable game. We don't want to be a play to earn game. We want to be a play and earn game, right? So people will be playing our game initially and primarily because it's a fun game to play, not because they're just wanting to earn some money. And I think that's a key thing that we're doing. Some of the things that we are doing with how the game is going to work and how we're going to integrate blockchain into it is very innovative, and no one else has done it yet. Especially a lot of the things we had discussions about today and that we're currently in development of and we're designing is really exciting. I mean, no one has done this model yet. Even Doglord to the point that Doglord is maybe even against some of the things that we're doing. But we had a lot of internal debates and discussions, and we're planning exactly how we move forward with the development of the game, and how we integrate blockchain. And I think that what we're doing is sort of going to be a first. I mean, Doglord can probably answer this better than me, but I think this is going to be the first person in the market that does such a thing. And in that sense, we are going to be first, Mike, right? So it's not about just, we're not going to be the first person to launch a game, but I think we're going to be the first one to launch a game that is accessible to anyone without any barrier to entry whatsoever. And the way that we integrate blockchain into it is a key aspect of that. So I think we'll definitely be the first movers in that, because I don't see anyone moving towards that type of model of making it as easy as possible for non-blockchain people, non-crypto people to play their games. Very few, if there are any. I've not seen a single project doing that yet.
I agree. And how do you feel?
Sorry, Mike. I just wanted to add to that.
Go for it.
And because we have such a big head start on development and we've been able to build such a quality product, that is going to help user base grow. I've seen a lot of projects, but these projects start up, they have small communities, they start launching NFTs. And if they're really in such a hurry to just drop a game that works, they're not really going to get the same engagement, entertainment. They'll just maybe die out or fizzle out because their user base is not growing. And like Jeff said, our aim is engagement and fun. So I do think we'll be industry first when it comes to that, deploying a proper product, not just running on the trend and the hype of these hashtags, metaverse and play and earn or play to earn. It goes beyond that, I think. So I think long term, we have a user-based growth strategy, which all these other projects are not really focusing on.
Yeah,
I agree. That's usually my answer to them when I'm holding a Twitter space and they ask me the question. That's kind of what I say. The product going to kind of speak for itself, and then people going to know once they see it, type of deal. And one last thing, actually, I've seen a lot of newcomers actually noticing that too. A lot of new projects and new want to be play to earn games, and they're all going with legends of something. It's just quite wild. How do you feel about that? It's crazy. Even the characters that they're presenting is the big head, small body, like copying Bezoge, with their little swirl on it. How do you feel about that?
I love it.
It makes me happy. We are actually encouraging innovation in the space.
It's a compliment in many ways.
Yeah, I always say there's a founder of one of these luxury brands. I can't remember if it's Chanel or if it's Louis Vuitton or whatever one. And he basically says exactly that. He says, someone said to him, "What do you think of the counterfeits?" And he says it's just it's free marketing, basically, right? I mean, the fact that people are willing to create a fake version of your product, and there is demand for that, you must be a successful project if someone is able to make essentially a counterfeit of it and also make money off of it, right? So I think exactly like Shahid said, it's a compliment when we see people taking inspiration from our project or copying things that we're doing. It shows that we're a leader in the space.
I love that. I 100% agree. That's kind of my answer to them as well. I love that. And I want to touch one last thing. Touch base on the giveaway that I'm planning on doing. It's either going to be this coming up Wednesday or the following Wednesday. I'll coordinate that with Kerry to get the best outcome out of it. The main purpose of it is to communicate with random people that hop on, trying to create some buzz around it and put our name out there in the spaces. That's kind of the main purpose of it. But yeah, all you have to do is tune in. And that's it, really. And you might be selected for $1,000 giveaway. But me and Kerry will coordinate the date, and we'll go from there. That's all I wanted to say, and y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
And just say that I've been watching Bezoge for a long time. I have a good friend, actually, John, that told me about the project. And I'm just amazed, because as we know in this crypto space, there's a lot of projects that duplicate what's already out there. And I'm just looking at the PDE that you guys have developing and just everything that's with the project. And I can truly say that you guys have a believer in me And I don't have a super big platform on Twitter or any of that mess, but I have been in crypto for a long time. I worked at CEXs. I've been a compliance officer. And I think you guys are doing things the right way. So I'm definitely want to talk to you guys and see if we can have some kind of lineage. But also I'm going to let my network know, like, hey, you guys need to pay attention to this gym that's a diamond in the rough, because I've seen other PDE games and I've seen your graphics, and John has showed me like the beta testing, and I'm blown away. So guys, whatever you guys are doing and girls are doing, keep it up. I think you guys are onto something great, and I see you guys at the top.
Thanks, Omar. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, man, and thanks for the motivation too, man. Thanks.
And get in touch. The best way to get in touch, by the way, is via Carrie. I've mentioned this before on the underpaid workers group. Best way is to get in touch with Carrie. She takes all the feedback from anyone in the community, and if there's any way we can work together, she'll work with you to create a Telegram group with us where we can go into some discussions more.
Okay, sounds good. Because I'm excited, guys, and Carrie, I'll DM you, and we'll be in talks, guys. So thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Omar.
Thank you. I was also going to add, a lot of feedback comes via Carrie in terms of subtle improvements, whether it may be across YouTube, AMA, the length of our names and titles, for example. So all of this feedback goes noticed, and whenever we can, we're proactively updating wherever possible. So feedback's always encouraged. Thank you.
I've got a question on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Go for it. I see Michael also on here. I'll let him get his question in a minute.
Okay. Let me go ahead first. Astronomical is asking, when are you going to start marketing? He just, after that, he didn't ask the question. He actually made a comment. But yeah, his main question was, when are you all going to start marketing?
Marketing is already commenced in many ways, but it will be a layered approach, and it will be focused on where we need to acquire players and in core markets in terms of our target markets. But also marketing will be fully activated when the website's launched as well. One important thing is, with every marketing dollar that we spend, we want to be able to drive that traffic somewhere. A lot of that traffic will be driven to the new site. And we want to be able to measure the impact of all of our spend dollars, making sure that we're acquiring the right players, they're working through the alpha, giving us feedback. So marketing has commenced, but it will only increase to a sufficient goal of achieving, I don't know if I can share this, but we're looking at I'm going to say 6-digit player numbers within the end of this year. So pretty significant on the player acquisition side of things. And this will go hand in hand with the update to the game in terms of alpha, beta, and then the global release.
I would also say that the comment that we're the actual question from Astronomical is, it's okay to have a shiny new website, but nobody has heard of the project. Marketing will be ramped up significantly. We're also working on some partnerships behind the scenes for marketing. There's some partnerships that we've already closed in the last few days, in the last week. And there are a lot of things that are coming up regarding marketing. But we're not necessarily just spending money on Dex Tools banners and all this sort of stuff like a lot of projects do and burn money. Also related to marketing, you can look at as a great example of recently that marketing isn't the right thing to do to increase token price. If a lot of the people that want us to just spend a lot of money on marketing is to do with increasing the price of the token. I think it was Crypto.com did like a big push on Super Bowl ads. And then if you can actually look at the CRO token since the Super Bowl ad, I think it's down 5%. So with regards to running marketing in order to affect token price, this is not what we ever plan to do. What we plan to do with marketing is to drive people to our website, to engage in the website, to read about the content. And then once the game has launched, It will be all about getting them to download and play the game. That's what all of our marketing budget will be for, because the more players that we have in our game, the more the token price should organically increase. We're not about hyping up the token right now in order just to increase the price and give it like a short-term pump. We're more about building long-term value for the project and bringing players to the game. It's not just about driving up the token price. And I think that's the way that the utility of the token becomes necessary, and long-term brings a lot more value than just running marketing to drive people to buy a token.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one important thing I'd note in marketing is we want to pay for the customer once. So we don't want to pay in returning visits and trying to acquire customers and players that have been exposed to our brand. So we want to acquire them at the right time, and slowly but surely, as the game develops, we progress from alpha to beta, you will see significant increases in marketing spend and exposure across various channels. So we are looking a lot at offline. So offline will come into the mix in Q2, Q3, where, we are looking at significant planning. And this is in line with beta launch and as well as, like I say, global release. I don't know if there'd be anything else to add.
Yeah, I think that answers that question. Mike, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to add briefly, I don't know if it's been touched upon, but another axis that Shahid and the team has been working on is generic crypto events and conferences. And I don't know if we mentioned that to the community yet or not, but maybe given the timelines and so many events being in March, if people want to attend to meet the team, it's probably the right time to talk about it,
Yeah, we mentioned two. So far we mentioned Meta Week. We have a booth at Meta Week, and we actually are sponsoring the event. So there'll be some Bezoge advertising throughout the event, and we also have the booth there, and a lot of the team will be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Shahid will be there. Mike, will you be there?
I was going to say, if you want some merch, you want to come by the booth as well. So, the Bezoge merch is pretty exclusive.
Exactly.
There'll be a lot of merch. So, Mike, I think, you will be there. I know Shahid will be there. Zach will be there. That's Meta Week. Then we have ETH Denver, where Carrie will be there. That's why she said she'll be missing the AMA next week, most likely, because she'll be on the plane to Denver. So Carrie will be there. I think that, Carrie, is that directly next week?
No, it's actually this week. I'll be flying back Monday. So next Monday, I will likely be at the airport getting ready to board my plane back home. So I leave this Thursday morning, and I already have the full schedule of events and networking and social events that are going to be taking place after the convention happens each day. So
if anyone is at ETH Denver, then please make sure to get in touch with Carrie or message in the group, and then it'll be a good opportunity to meet up.
Don't forget to take the selfies in the plane carrier with the Delta airline nut bag.
Right.
But yeah, that's just two of the events. I believe there's also some other conferences that we're in discussions with. And we'll definitely be making it a priority of the project to be in attendance of as many of these events as possible. And now that the team is scaling up and we have people in the US, people in Dubai, people in China, we're having more and more people in different countries around the world. It makes it easier for us to actually attend more and more of these events. Seeing as traveling with COVID and the pandemic is not ideal, it's better that we have people locally that are attending these events, and it makes a lot of sense that I think in the future we'll be able to attend a lot more without having to send people across the world to attend as well, which is certainly a benefit of having teams in different countries.
Distributed teams, decentralization.
Yes, Mike.
We should have two more events will close this week. So once they're closed, we'll announce them very shortly thereafter. One will be in Dubai, another in Dubai actually, and one more will be in the US. So news coming soon on two more events.
The US will be a good one actually.
Yeah, it's like 20 conversations happening at once.
So there's another one that there will be attendance by the team. It's the Miami Bitcoin conference. That's in April. So as well, we're going to have team members over there.
I think that was the US one that Shahid was talking about.
We can share it with everyone now. We'll be at Bitcoin Miami.
Oh, you know, I wasn't even. I wasn't even.
You, Mike.
No, I wasn't even talking about the this one by the team. I'm just saying members will be there.
We'll be there anyway as Bezoge, as well as.
Okay, well, you know what? I hadn't followed that topic, and you guys said it. That wasn't what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry. But yeah, that's the US one that we're in discussions with as well. So there should be, there's definitely going to be some presence, whether it's from the team just being in attendance, or whether we have a booth, or whether we're some sort of sponsor. Either way, we will be at a minimum, we will be in attendance of Bitcoin Miami,
nice.
which we were last year as well. I remember Mike was hanging out with some people there.
Yeah,
hanging
absolutely.
out with AB. You were hanging out with AB at Bitcoin Miami, I remember.
Well, Zach as well.
Yeah.
No comment as to Mike's whereabouts with AB.
I know about those whereabouts, but let's not keep that on the public record. Okay.
Him and Antonio Brown were like best friends for a night.
Yeah, exactly. Just for one night, you know how it is. The shorter the love, the better.
Okay, we'll not have these rumors coming in the group now. The community are going to wonder what the hell we're talking about. I can just see the questions popping up in the Telegram group right now. Anyway, let's move forward with some more questions. Did you have anything else you wanted to say, Mike?
No, that's fine. I just wanted to briefly talk upon that.
Okay. Right, let me bring in little MF. Mike, are you back in Dubai, by the way? Well,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
okay.
I'm back in Dubai.
That's why you're in a good mood today. Wonderful.
Exactly. I'm out of the cold, gloomy weather of Europe in the winter.
Exactly. I got that message I got from you. I could tell you were in a happier mood, so I knew you were probably back in Dubai.
Yeah, that wasn't a good week.
Okay. Hey, little MF, did you have a question?
Yeah. Hey, how are you guys? Thank you for all the hard work you guys have been putting in. Everything always looks amazing. You always over deliver. I have a couple questions maybe that are related to what we were talking about before, where you don't want to waste marketing, or you just don't want to waste marketing expenses, which totally makes sense. So when people ask me, when is the price going to go up? And this is what I say, and you guys can correct me if my thoughts are wrong. I say that usually the most stable way for the price to go up will be based on when the game goes live and our player base increases. And then their question is how. So my question really is basically around the marketplace. So if the economics or the tokenomics in the game is really based on reselling NFTs over and over with an ever increasing player base, the people that are selling the NFTs, I'm curious, what are they getting paid in? Will they get paid? Will they actually be receiving Bezoge?
So there'll be several currencies accepted on the marketplace.
Yeah.
So the key ones, of course, like your Bitcoin, Ethereum, anything. Well, wrapped Bitcoin, Ethereum, probably USDT. These would be basic currencies that should be accepted. But alongside that, of course, we'll accept Bezoge, and then we'll also accept blocks. So the tokens that are, the native token of the project, of course, will be accepted as a payment to buy NFTs.
Okay, so that sounds like if I'm playing the game and I want to buy an NFT, I can use any of those currencies to buy my NFT. What about the person that's actually selling the NFT? Does that mean that that person is receiving a huge variety of tokens, or are all of those tokens going to be converted back into Bezoge? So the seller of the NFT is always going to receive Bezoge.
So there's a few ways that we can deal with that. There's some small design. How can I say this? We're working on that at the moment because there's some development changes on how we're exactly going to operate the marketplace.
Yeah.
So I would say more, not necessarily changes, I would say more innovations. That's what I was talking about. There's actually some very exciting stuff that we're doing with how we're going to make the marketplace work. But I would, from the perspective of, are the users going to end up with a whole load of different tokens in their wallet? I would say that as the seller, you'll be able to say which tokens you're willing to accept from the list of tokens that we will provide, and whether that will be automatically swapped as you receive, or however that will be done, is yet to be confirmed. But I think as a user, if I say I'm willing to accept Bezoge and I'm willing to accept blocks and I'm willing to accept USDT, then but I don't want ETH or Bitcoin, then that would be fine. But from a seller perspective,
you want more variety.
Yeah, from a seller perspective, you could say which ones you're willing to accept as payment, and I think that makes the most sense. Because then if you literally just want USDT because you don't want anything else, you want to be a bit more safe, whatever it is, then that's fine. As a seller, you have that ability, right? So that's the way that we can solve that problem of having a whole load of different tokens in your wallet. So you would only end up with a whole load of different tokens. You might end up with some wrapped Bitcoin, some USDT, some blocks, for every different item that you sold. But that would only be if that's something that you're willing to do, right? If that's what you're willing to do and you're willing to accept that on everything you buy and sell, that's fine. But if you want to restrict it to just one, you could do that.
Okay.
So that's one way to solve that issue. But you're kind of right in terms of, we don't like to ever talk about what causes the token price to go up. But I would say that just in general, if you just think of a project in general, the more that it's adopted and the more people that are using it, the more utility it has, and therefore its value does increase. So the only direct way to increase the value of our token and our project as a whole is to increase adoption of it. And our project, the main product, is a game. So if we're doing any marketing, it should be around getting people to play the game. And so that's the way that it works. So you're kind of right in that sense, but it's not about the price necessarily going up. That's not necessarily going to happen if a lot of people start playing the game. But the intrinsic value of the token is certainly increasing with the more people that are adopting it. It's just sort of the supply and demand sort of issue. There's a fixed amount of tokens. If there's more people want it, then the price is going to go up.
Yeah.
Right. So essentially,
I just try to break it down for people that don't really follow crypto, and so because I'm trying to get new people involved, and this is one of the best projects I've ever come across in the last couple of years, and so my simplification usually is, if it's a huge NFT marketplace and people are even partially receiving their payment from selling NFTs in the Bezoge token, then that removes an enormous amount of Bezoge token from the market. And if the more Bezoge token that's spread across the more wallets, that just naturally forces the price to go up. And it seems to make sense. I don't know if I was totally accurate at that, but okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the way. We don't talk about price, but I mean, if the value of something tends to increase the more it's adopted, right? It's just the supply and demand. So if there's more people that want the token, and there's still a fixed, in fact, there's not a fixed supply. There's a decreasing supply because there's a, that's how the tokenomics of the token work, right? So Actually, it's a deflationary token. Is what I was going to say there.
Yeah.
So
here's
actually the supply is going down and the amount of the demand is going up. So no, that's just, but that's that's all speculation and not financial advice.
Can I ask one other quick question, like piggyback on that? When there's transactions in game in the marketplace, does the reflections happen on those transactions if they involve Bezoge, or is that off chain? Is the marketplace inside the game technically off chain?
I can't answer that question. Yes and no.
Okay.
But any on-chain, the way I can answer it is any on-chain transaction using the Bezoge token will have attacks on it and will have reflections and burn.
Okay, and it may apply to the NFT sales. It's okay.
If the NFT sale is on chain, right? If it's,
well, I mean, not if it's on a
if there's an
on-chain
transfer. If there's an on-chain transfer of an NFT and that NFT is being paid for using Bezoge on-chain, then of course there has to be a transfer of tokens. And anytime there's a transfer of tokens, there's a redistribution. There's a 2% tax on every transfer.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't know if the marketplace, if the NFT marketplace in game, if all those transactions individually were considered on-chain. Or if the marketplace itself isn't necessarily on.
That's a very good question. I can't give any comment on that.
And I understand. I had a feeling that would be the answer. But no problem. I have full faith in you guys. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Right, let me move to Chef Sham Black. Thanks for the question, little Emma. Hey, Chef.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. Yourself?
I'm good. I just want to take it back to the thing that was brought up earlier about a lot of other coins bringing up the name Legends of something and talking about games. And do we have any plan to stand out against like any rug pull coins or any coins that say they're going to release something but never actually bring any product, like a lot of games do in real life now, where they just say we're in development, we're in alpha stage, but never actually produce anything? Like, how would we go against that negativity?
Well, number one, we launched the game. That's the easiest solution, which we will be doing very soon. We already have the alpha test. Alpha testing is open alpha testing, right? It's closed, but it's on application, so anyone can apply and actually play the game right away, basically, right? Because we approve everyone almost instantly. I mean, every week we're approving every single person that applies. So that's the main thing. You can actually play our game as an alpha tester, as someone coming into the project that's new to it. You can actually apply and then start playing within about a week. So you can play very fast. I think a lot of games don't do that. These projects that you're talking about, they're just say they're in development all the time. I think you can see that we come on every week, answer a lot of questions. We put a lot of thought into it. We're actually have set up a company and are hiring staff, and we're constantly increasing the team on a weekly basis. I think it was mentioned we just hired a new head of HR for China that starts this week, and we'll be ramping up the hiring of more developers and of more 3D artists and 2D artists to speed up the development of the game. And we're also working on some big partnerships. You can see we have partnerships with, for example, Warren Sapp just reposted our giveaway. So there's a lot of big people, and there will be more partnerships with celebrities and influencers coming up in the future as well. But the main thing is within the next few months, you'll see the game will actually launch. I think that's the only real way, to be honest, to stand out from the projects that are just promising and saying they're constantly in development and promising they're going to deliver. The only way is to deliver. And I think that if you look at our track record, everything we've said we're going to do, we do. We always deliver on what we say we're going to do, and we give realistic time targets. And, I think we're quite transparent about everything that we're doing. I mean, you can even see that people from the community have been hired by the company, like Kari and Shahid. These people are actually working for us as employees. And there's also some other things that are going on behind the scenes that will bring a lot of credibility to the project and to the team, with regards to your, constantly in development. And I think a lot of money has been put into the project as well from our side. And hopefully that answers your question.
Oh yeah, definitely covered all the bases. I appreciate the feedback and the honesty. Thank you.
Thanks, Chef. But honestly, the only real way to alleviate that, to answer that is by launching the game. So we're working towards that, and we will launch it as soon as we possibly can. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Chef. Okay, are there more, Doglord? Were there any more questions on YouTube? Or sorry, YouTube for the Americans out there?
Yeah, so there's one more question from the same person, Astronomical. He or she asked, when is the game trailer coming out?
Oh, we just got sent another draft of the game trailer like an hour ago. So the answer is pretty soon. We're still working on the final touches of getting it ready, but pretty soon. I can't give an exact date, but soon after the website is updated, which is this week, should be this week, as Shahid said, we'll be adding in at least a teaser of the trailer. So you'll be able to see a teaser of the trailer pretty soon, and shortly after the teaser, we'll have the full trailer.
Yeah, the teaser will be, we'll have a paid campaign behind the teaser, as YouTube bumper ads, as well as pre-roll. So yeah, for sure, we'll be pushing the teaser very, very hard.
Yeah. I'm excited for that, actually, to push the YouTube ads.
Me too. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Any more questions on there, Doglord?
No, that's it.
I have a quick question on Twitter. Someone's asking, can you drop a note on the intended specs or platform? Says the recent gameplay looks amazing, but I think he's wanting to know what the specs for a high-end PC are.
Anything with a 3060 and above will run the game more than sufficient. So I've tested the game on multiple setups. I've run it on a 2080 Ti at ultra settings. It's worked fine. Beautiful graphics. RTX 3090 ultra settings, beautiful graphics. The only thing it struggles on for the moment, and I've given feedback to Benji on this, is really internal graphics on a work laptop. I'm kind of trying to play the game on now, and on the lowest settings, it runs a little slow. So I'd always encourage any machine with any graphics card should be more than sufficient.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean, also, I think Benji will back me up on this one. We're constantly trying to optimize the game so that it will work on the internal graphics. On the lowest settings, which still look really good. If actually during the alpha testing, our low settings are actually still quite high. But what you can do, Shahid, even if it's on the internal graphics, turn down the resolution. If you turn down the resolution a little bit, that's actually the easiest way to do it. So turn down the resolution a little bit, and it works. And it works completely fine on integrated graphics. Yeah, I might be mistaken. Of course, I don't know the exact specs of the device you're using on, but it should be fine on integrated graphics if you turn down the resolution. That's the easy solution. But the main thing also is we've even got the game optimized. We have one team member that is fully working on optimizing the game for Android. So, and this will be our main player base. I think we expect Android to be about 60 to 70% of the player base. So most people would be playing on a mobile device rather than on a desktop. But of course you're going to get, but much like, for example, for like Fortnite, that's exactly the same, right? A lot of people are playing on mobile devices, but still and they're playing on console, but still the best experience is on desktop. So there'll be a different type of player that wants to play on desktop. And for those people, they'll probably be working on a 3060 or above anyway. So it'll run completely smooth and high resolution on that sort of device. But if you have a low spec device, become an alpha tester and test it out and see what sort of resolutions you can run it at and give us that feedback. I think that's something actually, Benji, that we could run that as one of the tests for all the different alpha testers to actually play the game in different settings to get the frame rates, you know, and supply their specs to us, so we can get an idea of what different specs can actually play the game at what sort of frame rates. That would be a cool thing that we could do as a task.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's something we still have a lot of optimization that will be implemented soon, but yeah,
but
I think that would
integrated, right? We tested on integrated though, Benji, right? I'm pretty sure we
Yes,
did.
Yes,
it
should work.
You just have to turn the resolution down.
It's a bit slow, but it works, and it should get quite a bit better in the future for this.
I'll try the resolution update as you mentioned and see if that fixes my problem, and I'll report back on Discord.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I think there's still a lot. There's still a lot we can do for that, and in the future it should work on much lower resolutions, like much lower specs than it does now. So
yeah.
So so since
I would say that we do have the game running pretty smoothly on Android already in internal testing, right? So again, this is where most of the player base will be on mobile.
To add to that, personally, I tried the game on plenty of different setup: RTX 3090, RTX 2080 Super, RX 5700 XT, RX 6800, 1080 Ti, and everything was really smooth. I even played on a really basic laptop. It was a Ryzen Pro 5650U with a Vega 8 integrated graphic, and it went pretty smooth as long as I turned down ray tracing and I was in medium-low settings. So it was pretty accurate. Well, it was playable.
Yeah, the anti-aliasing is the thing that causes a lot of damage.
Oh yeah,
the low spec.
Obviously, I removed that as well.
You basically have to turn that off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not usually not that necessary, since there is already some, but it improves a bit if you're already running on Ultra and you have a really nice graphics card, then you can use it. But yeah, it's really optional and not that necessary.
No, of course.
I'm not gonna lie, myself, I can't even tell the difference when I turn on the anti-aliasing. It's very hard to spot. You have to have a good eye to be able to spot that, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, it's important mostly if you have a lower resolution, because it's like kind of like interpolating pixels and stuff. So you don't, if you have a very high resolution, like on a Mac or something, then it's not very, it's not really necessary.
Benji, this sounds like
a 30-inch screen or something.
This sounds like a wiki post to me. Some optimized settings for the gameplay.
Shahid is already thinking of the content that he can optimize for SEO, right? He's already thinking about that. This would be a good function. This would be a good function. I know a lot of games actually have like a section of the site that you can enter your spec, and it will tell you the recommended settings for that device. This is something that some games have. But we can certainly give a basic idea of what different specs you would need to play at a certain setting. Right?
I think, maybe what we look at is just optimize defaults out of the box, so that low is generally optimized at low performance, medium and high, and then ultra.
Yeah, to be honest, for sure. A lot of games will do is actually when you launch it the first time, the settings are all just set to the lowest, and you have to increase them yourself. This is also something that could be done. Or sort of a medium, yeah, like you said, Jay. They could be quite low, but sort of on a medium that still looks really good. And
or just detect the GPU and the CPU and decide
we can
basic profile settings based upon that.
Yeah, we can.
We can do that. Yeah, for sure. So that will be in the next few steps we'll do. I think that should be one of them because we can.
Yeah, I think before the beta launch, we can do that because again, as the game may change and there may be extra things added and more detail, then we'll have to optimize it more. But we can, I think before we launch the beta, we can add that in the detection and optimize it for different specs at that point. Otherwise, the game changes and we may have to re-optimize everything again and change all the settings, right?
Sure.
The requirements may change. Yeah. Okay. That was a good question. I think we talked for a long time about it.
Yes, thank you. I'm just going to tell him.
In-depth answer, Carrie.
I know. I'm just going to tell him to listen to the AMA because that's too much to type out.
I was going to say we all like testing.
We do, and I think it's definitely a good idea to do. And Benji will probably run this at some point in the next few weeks. Get people with different specs to. We'll make a basic template, I think, of how to upload your specs and some frame rates, some basic frame rates, and some data that you could pass to us that we can begin to build this sort of information, this database on. Because this is the easiest way that we can begin to optimize for different specifications and work out what sort of frame rates different specifications are able to get. So that we can create those.
We can even do some of it.
That database.
Yeah, we can even do some of it automatically.
Yeah.
To collect it and have maybe some form through the game where people can mention comment on that experience, about the frame rate, etc.
We have a dev bar at the top of the game that displays a lot of the live processing information of the alpha game when you're in session. So maybe we just add it there, a bit like MSI Afterburner.
I don't want to interrupt, but I think we are going into more of an internal team discussion than an AMA.
We always do that. But yeah, I think that we'll definitely do some more testing and find out the specs of the performance on different specification machines so that we can optimize that.
I had a question.
Go for it, Mike.
About the Launchpad. Can you? A few people had asked about it, and they were asking how are the mechanics of that Launchpad going to benefit the token?
Okay, so the Launchpad will be giving token holders access to new projects. So we'll be handpicking the projects that get access to the Launchpad. But of course, once we get our own game up and running, you'll begin to see more things launching on the Launchpad. We don't really want to launch any other projects before we launch our own, if that makes sense. But basically, it'll be giving early access to new projects and to new NFT sales and new projects to holders of Bezoge tokens. And it'll be most likely a lottery system. Not guaranteed yet, but most likely a lottery system, and you'll get more entries into the lottery for the more Bezoge tokens you own. So basically, the more Bezoge you hold, the more chance you have of getting early access to these new projects.
I see. And when you say it's a Launchpad, is it going to be specifically launched on Bezoge Launchpad before Uniswap, or how does that work?
It's exactly that. So that depends on what it is. If it's a pre-sale of a token, that's yes, you would be able to buy the token directly on the Launchpad. If it was an NFT sale, then you would get early access to the NFTs before they go on for the main launch via like a whitelisting sort of system. But yeah, that's basically how it would work.
And what's the token quantity of Bezoge a holder needs to have access to that?
Well, that depends, like I said. So sort of like we did with our own NFT sale, if you remember, if people had, I think it was 10 trillion at the time.
So it was 20.
Was it 20? Yeah, that's a lot now.
Yeah.
That wasn't very much money at the time. I think that was 1 ETH at the time. Or actually, I remember it was exactly 1 ETH. Okay, so now 1 trillion is more than 1 ETH. Anyway, basically, yeah. At the time we had 20 trillion, so it would be something, you know, there may be a minimum requirement in order to be part of the launchpad for specific projects. But like I said, the other option that we have is, rather than making it a minimum requirement, making it the more tokens you have, the more tickets you would get in a sort of lottery system, and the more chance you would have of getting access. So it would mean that, you know, not everyone gets guaranteed access, but the more tokens you have, the higher your chance of getting access to the specific project being launched on a launchpad if you enter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And as far as those projects, when they launch on the launchpad, are our team, Bezos team, going to hold the liquidity for these projects, or liquidity going to be provided in Bezos? Or how's that going to work?
That'll be about on a project by project basis. Everyone could be different. There may be some that are running Bezoge pairs instead of an ETH pair or something like that. That might be a thing. But the project is not necessarily linked to Bezoge directly, other than being part of the launchpad. Most of them should be, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be a requirement.
Gotcha. Perfect. So for the tokens that we choose to do the pairs with Bezoge, are the tokenomics going to hit on both sides, in and out? For example, if a project that has, let's say, 2% tokenomics pair with Bezoge, when people buy it, are they going to get hit with the Bezos tax and then the project tax before they buy it, or how are the mechanics of that going to work?
Yeah, if a project that was launched on there also had a 2% tax, then yes, there would be a 2% tax on the Bezoge that was being swapped, and also a 2% tax on the token that was being bought.
Okay. What would give people the incentive?
If the tokenomics were the same as us, is what I mean. If you essentially imagine that the tokenomics were exactly the same as Bezoge, then yeah, there would be a 2% on both sides.
Gotcha. Obviously, it's going to be different from project to project. So in theory, the gas fees will be the same, or is it going to be on the ETH network, or what are we doing here?
It depends on the project.
Okay. What would give people the incentive of using the launchpad?
Early access to projects. So if a project, let's say, for example, it was Bezoge, for example, right? If you remember that on the first day, before we even put the liquidity into Uniswap, you're able to buy our tokens before we even launch. It's basically would be like that. So the advantage would be that you would be able to get early access to projects and buy them before they're actually launched on the open market.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, that's kind of really all I had in mind. That's it.
Okay. Thank you again, Mike, for the additional questions. And Mike, I'm gonna make sure I try and join one of your Twitter Spaces in the next few days. What time do you?
I know you're busy all the time.
Morning China time, right?
Yeah.
What sort of typical time is it in US time, in like EST?
We try to do it. Usually, I message a few people, see if they're on, and then I'll invite everybody to hop on the Twitter Space. But generally, between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. is when we started.
EST?
Central Time.
Is that EST, Mike?
Oh, that's Central.
Central, okay. Okay. I can see if I can hop on. I'll have a look tomorrow morning or the next couple of days and see.
Usually Dog Lord hops on, and it's pretty fun. We enjoy it. We enjoy his company as well.
Okay. I'll see if I can join one soon.
Perfect. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Mike. Hi, guys. I think we're going to end it there. It's Valentine's Day. I've spent most of my Valentine's evening preparing for the AMA. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Does anyone else, any of the other speakers, have anything to say before we go? Paolo, Benji, Shahid, Kari, anyone? Of course, Doglord and Zach as well.
I think happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
So I just wanted, it just came to my, happy Valentine's Day as well, sorry. It came to my attention that we had a First community-led in real life event in Connecticut. Carrie, would you happen to know something about that, or is there someone here who's listening in who was present at that event?
Yes, and I had that in my notes to mention it, but I felt like I was talking too much already. So I know there was, I think, close to 10, maybe even more, Sir Swifty, Shiny Bezogian. I know all their Telegram handles. Bezoge Mob, Broke Ass Blues. There was a whole group of people that met up at a place in Connecticut. And some of them are on here if they want to step up, if they're able to discuss it. But yeah, it turned out really, really well, I believe, from what I hear.
Was Boomstick Mafia there?
No,
No, he was
Mafia
not
is a
there.
speaker right now. You weren't there, Boomstick?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for all the hard work lately, and I love Bezoge.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I like his profile picture. It's bullish.
As it should be, right?
Yeah,
Precisely.
exactly.
That looks like a Bezoge chart there.
Oh no, Bezoge just had 6 pumps. This one only shows 3.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's an old Bezoge chart. Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks, Boomstick.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Sorry to the people that have put their hand up. I think we already said we were going to end the AMA, so we're going to end it there. Sorry if we didn't get to your question. But it's because it's 1:40. It's 1:40 a.m. where we're based, so it's a bit.
But
we need
Carrie's
to
around.
wrap it up. Yeah. But Carrie's around. I think she'll probably be active on the.
Yep.
Everything that I know, Carrie knows pretty much. So she can answer almost every question. And I'm sure she'll be active on Carrie. I don't know if you're going to be in the Telegram group after this, or if you're going to be in a private space, not a private, but a public.
I usually open up Telegram voice chat after our AMAs for any follow-up questions.
Oh, and there is, seeing as we mentioned it, Broadcast Blues is actually just put his hand up to speak. So I'll make him the last speaker. He can say a little bit about the meetup that they had.
What's up, guys?
The in real life, the IRL. Hey, Broadcast.
Hey, Broadcast.
We had a good time. We did some selling. We got some people to buy in. Excuse me, not selling, buy in.
I was going to say, you did some selling. You got together is that what, were you the people that sold that 70 ETH the other day? You just got together and dumped it all at once?
Yeah, that's what we were the other night. We were all
that's what you did at the event, right?
Let's tank the project real quick.
Yeah.
No, I saw a girl and his boyfriend sitting there, and he's looking at his phone, and Bezoge Daddy Warbucks there brought some stickers. Bezoge. And I walked over and I handed him one of the stickers, and I said to him, Google that. And he looked at me, he's like, what is it? I said, it's crypto. And he's like, is it on Coinbase? I said, no. I said, you have Coinbase now? He says, yep. I said, well, get yourself a Coinbase wallet. I said, and get on the Uniswap, have a look, Google it, go on the Telegram, ask questions. He didn't wait for anything. He just went in and he bought and was looking for a hat and a T-shirt and everything. But Ron had given the T-shirt or the hat out to the guy who was playing guitar and singing up front. So he was wearing that all night. But it was good get together. So we just passed out stickers all over the place. We talked. The Sheba brothers, very soft spoken. You could barely hear.
Oh, Tommy and James, the Sheba bros were there.
Oh yeah, very difficult.
The humble ballers. They're the humble ballers.
Yeah, could barely hear them. And I'm like, dude, you got to get close.
Did you all have a good time?
You got to get close to my ear. I can't hear you. So yeah, it was a good time. There's probably more like 20, I would say, and there's so many people that I couldn't figure out who was who. It was so friggin' loud in there and everything, and a lot of hockey fans. But everybody's very hyped for the project. Everybody's very happy where it's going. All positive vibes.
Great. It sounds like it was fun. I feel like I need to be part of these meetups sometime.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
I would like to add to that if there's anyone in the community who's looking to actually arrange Bezoge meetups, do get in touch with Carrie or someone, and we can probably try to put the meetup on the spotlight and try to see if there's others in the community
we'll actually
who would like
have
to
a
have
section.
attendance.
One thing that Shahid can go into a little bit of detail on this maybe before we end, but there will be a offline event section of the website, like a schedule of what's happening over the next few months. And so these events, if there's a proper meetup, we can perhaps sort of help sponsor it with some merch or some hats, some stickers, any merch like this. We can potentially sponsor it, and then give you something to actually hand out at these events, and then get it advertised on the official Telegram channels, social channels, and on the website.
Yeah,
I think definitely is something that we can help with.
Yeah, as part of the site launch, we'll have an events area, so all events that we'll be attending, and then as Jeff mentioned, anything that we're aware of that's going on in the community, a local meetup.
We can tag it as well, right? We can tag it
absolutely.
and say this is a community event. It's not an official Bezoge event, but it's a community event that's going on.
Absolutely. Share it in social, and then work out if we can, share some merch with you guys. All possible.
It's a good time, guys. It's worth it. Anybody that could gather up with people you don't know that are in the project, and you actually put a face to the voice, it's great.
Soon this year, I think already in March, you'll be able to meet some of the team. Obviously, one of the first venues we'll be at will be Dubai. But then US and a lot of other venues to come up.
It's amazing that I feel like I know a lot of the people in here, but I've never met almost anyone. So it's I can't wait till one of the offline events that I can finally attend in the US and meet everyone. It's going to be really good.
I could tell you, I thought Swifty was over 6 feet, and so did Ron. And then it turned out to be Shiny Bezogian that was over 6 feet. And Swifty's like 5'6". I felt like a giant. The rest of everybody else, they're all younger than Ron and I. And I looked at Ron. I said, "You got a sore neck yet?" He said, "Why?" I said, "Because all I'm doing is looking up."
I need to get that.
That's Bezogia for you. It's the land where everything only goes up.
Absolutely.
If you've read the wikis, you've read the articles about Bezogia, it's the land where everything always goes up.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I think we're going to end the AMA there, but Broadcast, thank you very much for sharing your experience. Hopefully there'll be more of these IRL meetups, and maybe we can even get some videos and some content created on photos of these events. Even if you do have any photos from the events, it would be good if you could share them, Broadcast, or anyone that was there.
I know.
Share them with Carrie.
Ron took a bunch of pictures. I'm lazy.
I think the Shiba Bros are usually, they're avid photographers, right? So they probably have a lot of content as well.
I'm sure they do.
If any of those people are listening and have those images, please get them to Carrie, and we'll get them posted on some of the socials. It would be really cool to show if people are willing to share their photos, right? It would be good if we could maybe make a post and share that.
And before you go, I'd like to say great job, guys. Love it. Love the project. And just everything you were talking about before, even the technical side of the game should show people how experienced you guys are. And you know, this is going to take off. Whenever it does, it does. But everybody just hang in because it's coming.
I think a big part of the game as well is that you know, the game acts as a front door to crypto. So there's a lot of education and it's fun. You learn about things. I mean, I even learned reading through the wiki that the bridge represents the bridge between chains, but that didn't appear to me as a crypto guy, as a gamer. So yeah, there's a lot of fun learning to be had.
Yeah, it's the bridge
game.
between the different worlds.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, I see some pictures coming here in the group already. Pictures of the event. I like the picture with everyone with their backs turned, like the Shiba Bros.
Yeah, even I've posted a picture, man. It's becoming a trend.
I like that one.
It's becoming a trend now. Yeah.
That's a great one. Okay, guys, we could talk for hours, but let's wrap up the AMA here. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Broadcast, for sharing, and thank you everyone for your great questions. Awesome AMA, and hopefully we'll have some more updates for you throughout the week, and also we'll see you on next week's AMA. Anything else to add from anyone?
Exciting next 2 weeks that are coming up, guys. So just watch the space.
There's always a lot coming up. Hopefully next week, by the time we get on this AMA, there'll be a new website and everything launched as well. No pressure on Shahid.
No pressure at all.
Right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.